Good morning, Woodmore Middle School kiddos. I hope you guys had a lot of fun yesterday. I loved seeing all of you. Today's Friday, April 3rd, and I just wanted to share one more Big Life journal with you guys since we will be off for spring break for a week, so I probably won't post a lot of videos, but I love this Big Life journal because it just has so many good reflections, and a lot of times it tells you to draw something. So I just really think it's a great resource for students and even adults, actually, because I really like what's in here. But on this one portion that I've been reading, sorry I have my sunglasses on because my eyes are really sensitive to the sun, and the dog keeps trying to get out here. He wants to be out here with me. But I'm outside because it's so nice today. So if you guys think about it, try to get outside, try to get some sunshine, some vitamin D. Remember that anything for me is not due until after spring break. I really don't want you guys working on stuff throughout spring break, but I do understand that it's a good catch-up time, and everything for me I always give you until the end of the quarter. Of course, I would like to have you guys sending stuff in before the end of the quarter so we can have grades updated and you and your parents know how you guys are doing. But I was going to read this for you today. It's a quote from Albert Einstein. It says, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." So that's really interesting to me. I was like, I don't know that I even necessarily agree with that at first, but then once I started looking into the things they were talking about, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm going to try to read this really fast for you guys. It's called Explore Your Universe. When Chris Hadfield was 10 years old, he made the decision to become an astronaut. Chris loved to read. He read books about the moon, about rockets, about anything in outer space. Chris especially loved reading science fiction and comic books because they inspired him to dream of truly knowing out-of-this-world things. Chris was dreaming of the unknown, of a future in space. When Canada first formed a space agency, I'm going to show you the picture here. When Canada first formed a space agency, Chris was excited. The ideas he had been reading about and dreaming of were becoming a reality. People were really leaving Earth and going into outer space. Being an astronaut involves a lot of things some people find scary and dangerous, but Chris knew as long as he prepared himself and learned everything he could about his mission, there was no reason to be afraid. When you take time to learn, you feel calm, confident, and in control, which is that's absolutely the truth. Oh, you guys can see the picture of it in my sunglasses. Perfect. One of the ways Chris prepared himself to become an astronaut was by learning Russian. Chris knew he would be working with a lot of Russian astronauts, and it was important to be able to communicate with them. So, long story short, he became the first Canadian to walk in space. On his first mission, they orbited around the world 16 times per day, and Chris got to see the world from a whole new perspective. Now, it took 23 years for Chris to fulfill his dream of becoming an astronaut, but every step of the way he was learning to reach his goal. And the best part, he found happiness in the journey toward his goal, not just the end result. So that's what we talk about a lot. I try to stress this to you guys, that art is not necessarily always product-based. It's like experience-based also. So sometimes you will do not so well in a project and then you're like, how did I get an A? And I'm looking at what you went through, what your struggle was, what did you learn? Even if you end up with nothing as a final product, you guys are still learning lessons along the way. So the biggest lesson Chris learned from leaving Earth is to stay curious. The universe is bigger than we can all possibly imagine, and it's waiting for us to explore it all. What are some things you are curious about? So some of you that are kind of doing like a daily drawing, if you would like to today, there's this little diagram here that I really like, and it says, what am I curious about? And then you can draw 5 little examples of things that you guys are curious about. And honestly, like the curiosity part in your life is what encourages you guys to really love learning and want to stick with learning new things. So I totally get that some of you aren't super curious about the art world, and that's okay. But maybe there are other things you're curious about, and I just want to make sure you guys are like thinking about that and knowing what are the things that interest you. Okay, so I again, really loved seeing you all yesterday. You guys are wonderful. I could not believe like how emotional it was to wave to all of you guys. And it's like easy over internet to be like, oh, I miss my kids. But as soon as I saw a lot of your faces, I'm like, oh, I really miss my kids. So, because you guys are all like my little, you're not my kids, but you're like, you're like family. You guys become like family to us. And I know like in the art room, we feel like a little, it's like our little universe, our little safe space. So I am so glad for those of you who have been watching the videos. I will talk to all of you soon. Remember to email me any assignments, questions. You can also turn stuff in at the school. There was an email that went out yesterday about turning things in. But again, just email me if you have questions. A lot of people are like, hey, do I have something turned in? Because I don't have everything in progress book. I'm working really hard to do that, but it's tricky. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that I love you, I care about you, I miss you, and email me if you have any questions. Someone even emailed me about a math question the other day because they weren't sure that because it was after hours, if their teacher would be available. Most of your teachers are available. We're all kind of just sitting around waiting for you guys. We make things for you, and then we kind of wait to get your responses and have contact with you. So if you guys need anything, of course you can email me a math question. You guys do know that I maybe don't have the most proficient and sound answers for math questions, but I can always help you figure it out, or make sure your teacher can get in contact with you for that subject. But I will do my best to help you in any way that I can. So I will talk to you guys soon, and thanks for everyone who showed up yesterday. Have a great spring break. Like seriously, if you are caught up on your work, please use the time to relax, get some sun, some vitamin D, stay healthy, go outside, do all the things, whatever floats your boat. I know some of you will be doing some extra artwork over spring break, so that'll be cool to see too. All right, thanks guys. I will talk to you soon.